Hi everyone, Rory at Clawden Painting Studio here once more. We're looking down on a bunch of World War II German Fallschirmjager. My friends and I, about this time last year, decided that we wanted to get some forces together for Bolt Action. And here we are a year later and nothing much has happened on that front, but we are determined at Christmas time we're going to actually have something on the table to play some games. And I was lucky enough to come across this second-hand army on eBay. Good deal, and I think there's a nucleus of a very decent force here. Plenty of boots on the ground, anti-tank weapons coming out my ears, machine guns, mortars, looking good. The models have obviously been gamed with before. There's some damage, there's some chip paint. So we're just going to have a look at the process I'm going to do to get these repaired and ready for gaming. For example, we can see paint chips that will need to be touched up. There's a bit of shading has been done, but we'll use some washes to improve on that. The camo pattern, I think, is a fine attempt, so I'm not going to mess around with that too much. Where I might need to repair things, for example, a flamethrower with the barrel missing, unless of course that guy likes to hold it by the tip of the barrel. So we'll need to make something to repair that. And there's a few of the submachine guns and assault rifles have had barrels break off. So I'm going to need to try and do some repairs there. And there's one poor fella here who's off his base entirely. So we'll do some repairs and come back and have a look at things then. Let's have a look at a couple of the repairs. Submachine gun barrel was broken off, so I've drilled a hole, put in some brass rod and used a bit of Procreate epoxy putty to sculpt a new sight on there. Broken flamethrower, drilled into the broken barrel and inserted a bit of brass rod. Slightly smaller than the piece it's gone into, but I think that'll be fine once it's all painted the same colour. Assault rifles, a bit trickier. I had to file them back to a thicker part of the gun's body and then drill a hole to insert a piece of wire from a paper clip. Again, some putty for the sight. It is not 100% accurate to what the real life looked like, but I think it does the point, does the job, gets the point across just okay. Same for his mate there. So once that's all set, I'll paint over these areas with some black. And after that it's on to covering up the chips. For the most part, chip bits of paint are going to be on areas that stick out, and these are the kind of areas that you would be placing highlights on anyway when painting. So I'll be getting some lighter colours on the go to do the edges and highlight things as we go. A bit of light grey is going to be useful anywhere that's supposed to be black. Or indeed we could use wolf grey for a bluer tint. Where skin needs to be touched up, a bit of Army Painter Corpse Pale. green areas, some army green, and so on. So a lighter brown, a light beige, these kind of colours will be used to touch up where we've got some chipped paint. At this moment in time, that's all I'm going to be correcting. And then after we've done a wash, we may go back and paint on details that have been missed. Well, it's taken a couple of weeks to actually get round to finishing painting up the chipped areas. In the end, I did decided to take a bit of time just to alter the colours I didn't feel were quite right on some of the webbing. I've actually got a game lined up now, 2 weeks from where I am today. So I've been through the armies of Germany. We've just decided on a modest 500 points to start with. But you don't get an awful lot of Fallschirmjager for 500 points, so I've got 3 7-man units here, an MMG, an officer, and a hanger-oner for the officer. The next step is going to be washing these. Now, I don't know what they were primed with, and with the number of chips that were on them, I don't think it's a great primer, so I really need something to protect the undercoat. I'm going to take some Army Painter Strong Tone in a tin, polyurethane dip. It's going to make this paintwork rock solid and provide shading. It'll need a matte varnish after to take the shine off, but the paintwork should be solid from there on in. So they've had a dip in the Strong Tone, and then some matte varnish has been applied to take the shine off. And I think that the finished effect is pretty good. I'm fairly confident as well that the paint won't be chipping now. We'll take a closer look at some of the units. You can see some of the repaired assault rifles in his first unit there. And repaired SMG in the fella with the grey-blue field jacket on. A rifle squad. Here's our officer and radio man. Medium mortar, medium machine gun, Panzerschreck and flamethrower in the foreground. It's going to bring in a chap from the eBay set who's not had any work done to him. It's part of a crew for a Pack 40. This sort of gives us an idea of what the before and after is. We'll just bring in this chap lying down here. So we can see the effects straight away that the wash has had on the skin in particular. And at the same time, we've not disrupted the camouflage pattern too much. And just with that little bit of extra shading, really just helps to define all the natural folds and creases in the cloth. Give us a good finished effect. There's a couple more things to do, Pack 40 for example, but there's some other unpainted models in the set. And I need to get the basing finished off on a few of them. I think the previous owner probably had the dots that we can see on the base rims to sort of identify squads. And once I've settled on the list, I'll either do some way of identifying individual units like that, or I'll just paint the base rims black. So these guys are going to get packaged up and off for their initial outing today. Fully expect to get tabled in my first experience of playing Bolt Action. Bye for now.